Today, your lecture is of accommodation management, and the topic is flower arrangements basics. Like what basic arrangements, or you can say what basic things we have to kept in our mind uh, while doing flower arrangement or after cutting the plants, what precautions we have to take, okay, and how we can give that cut plants the long life. After doing this lecture, you learn about that, and you will get the knowledge about that. So let's start with the first slide: care and conditioning of plant material. There are so many ways, so many, you can say that, things by which you can say that we can use so many materials to give care and conditioning to the plant material and to the flowers also, okay, by putting them into the water or by cutting them according to the way that particular plant we have to cut, by putting them immediately into water after from the garden, then giving some chemicals, putting them chemicals which required for that particular plants, by giving proper sprays to them. Okay, we give a long life to them. We all know that after cutting the plants from the garden, they have very short life for 4 or for 2 or 3 days, or some plants are having a life of a 7 days. Okay, but not more than that. Uh, so that we have to take so many precautions, so many things, so many care to that plants to give them long life. So in first point, a flower or a leaf cut from a plant. Whenever we cut the plant from the, or leaf or a flower from the plant or from the garden where it actually grown or harvested, has a very short life, though beautiful life. Having a very short life but very beautiful life, because they give so many attractive things, or like whenever we put at any place, so many people will praise that flower, like the freshness of that plant, the color of that particular flower, the fragrance of that particular plant. So very short life but a beautiful life. It is possible to prolong this for a little while by few methods, like very short life and a beautiful life, but we can just give a long life, or you can say that some uh, prolong or possible things to do, or little things to do, to give by some few little methods by which we can give the that particular plant or particular flower will survive some more days. Flower arranges us the term conditioning. Like we condition them, we give conditioning to them to refer the preparation of cut plants material for a long life, the filling of stems with water, and prevention of wilting. Now, whenever we are talking about the conditioning, you all know about what conditioning is. That like we our body, if we take an example of our body, we need nourishment. We condition our body also by taking healthy food, by taking healthy beverages, okay, by doing exercise, and by, you can say that, so many things, yoga and all the things we do in our daily routine to condition our body in very good way. For the same, you can say that flowers are also, or we can do same conditioning with the flowers by preparation when we cut that particular plant from the garden, or from the, you can say that, flower or a leaf from that particular plant. We give long life to them by using so many materials, so many things, and by natural way also, by putting their stems into the water, or by filling their stems into the water, by prevention of withering, like from the dryness of that plant, okay, or you can say that by sometimes we put plant at that place where they absorb some other products, fragrance or some other products, color over there. So we do these things to give our flowers and leaves or plants a long life. In next point, a bucket of water at room temperature should be carried into the garden, and the cut flowers should be immediately uh, pungent into it, plugged into it, sorry. Whenever we are going to cut the plants, or whenever we are going to the market to buy the plants for the flower arrangements, if we talk about the hospitality industry, or if we talk about the hotels, we buy plants from the outside source or from on the contract basis, okay. Some plants, or some, you can say that, very little amount of flowers or leaves we may produce in our, or you can, we may grow in our hotel for restaurants only, but where it required large amount of, you can say that, flower arrangement, there we can we have to buy that plant from the market. So whenever we are going to the market, we whenever we take or we purchase that flowers or leaves, we have to put that particular material into the bucket. Or for the same, if we are cutting, or if we are taking the plants direct from the garden or direct from where it has been grown, what we can do, we can take a bucket of water, which is having a room temperature, okay. And we just whenever we are cutting the plants, and immediately putting that plants and leaves or flowers into that bucket. This helps retain their moisture for a longer period of time. Okay, so guys, we are on the second point. Like, this helps to retain their moisture of longer period of time. Like, whenever we are doing this job, or doing this kind of, you can say that, exercise, while cutting the plants from the garden or buying the plants from the direct from the market, we just put all the things, or all the, you can say that, plants, whether it is flowers, leaves, or foliage, okay. uh, we just have to put into the bucket, or any bucket, or if we don't have any kind of bucket, we can just prepare, you can say that, a poly bag in which we have a water in it, and we just put all our flowers and leaves into that poly bag, okay. So this helps to retain the moisture for the longer period of time, and we just give our flowers a long life, okay. If they are having 2 or 3 days life, by doing this exercise, we can give the life of 5 days, increase their life, okay, for 1 or 2 days, okay. And it also looks fresh, okay. uh, you can compare the exercise which you not done with that the flowers, by putting all the flowers into the bucket, and by which you have done the same exercise with the plants or leaves which you buy. You look the difference, like, they are not fresh, and that look fresh, more fresh than that. In third point, plant material should be cut at a slant using sharp scissor or a knife, either earlier in the morning or after sunset. Like, whenever we are cutting the plants, we have to give slant cut. We never cut straight stems of that particular plant, okay. And always use sharp knife, sharp scissors, and whatever the equipment you are using to cut that particular plant, okay. And try to cut the plants in the early morning, and in the late after, in the late evening, or after the sunset, okay. It may increase their life also, whenever you are cutting the plants, as this time they are crisp and filled with moisture. Like, they are crisp means, like, they are having full moisture into it, okay. And also filled with the, you can say that, crispness, and filled with the proper moisture, and it easy to cut, okay. and it you can say that it retains their life, or you can say you may retain their life for long time. uh, if we take an example, whenever we are going to the garden in the early morning, we see that all the plants are much moist than the afternoon. Okay, and if we again see in the late evening or after the sunset, again the moisture content in the leaves or in the, you can say that, in the flowers is much than the we see in the afternoon. Okay, so that's why we just strict to cut the plants in the early morning or in the after sunset. In next point, as a general rule, it is best to cut flowers before they reach maturity. Like whenever you are cutting the plants, always try to cut when it is premature. Okay, uh, like if it get proper matured, uh, if then you cut the plants and take that plants for the flower decoration or for the flower arrangements. Okay, they may have the life of 2 days, but it ripen in 1 day again. Okay, so like if we get prematured or before the maturation period, we cut that plant, it may goes from 2 days or to 3 days to the 5 days. Okay, we increase the life when we do the flower arrangement in a hotel or in any place where we need it. And next point, carry out flowers in a headed down position, so the heavy headed flowers will not snap off. Like whenever you are taking the plants, or whenever you are purchasing the plants from the market, always try to purchase the plants in a good condition, or if there is having a heavy headed, like if they are having a big bunch, or you can say that big flowers which are having which is having their heavy head. Okay, heavy head means like so many uh, leaves, or so many, you can say that, stems in that. Okay, so try to put that plants into headed down position. It helps to snap off means like it may be snap off means like किसी चीज को like गिर जाना, like if you are buying a very headed plant. Okay, so at that point may happen when you buying a heavy headed plants. Okay, try to buy a normal plants if you are buying that. So putting them to the headed down position. Okay, upside down position, if we talk in a normal way, upside down position, because it prevents from snap off, like if it prevents from like broken down. Okay, they may broken down because it's having a very heavy head. Next, wrap the flowers in newspaper till the neck of the flowers. Uh, Plunk this bunch into a bucket of a water for 3 to 4 hours or overnight to condition. This is called hardening. In case of foliage, submerge them in a water for about 2 hours. Like whenever you are buying the plants, or whenever you are purchasing, or whenever you are cutting the plants directly from the garden, that may depends upon the situation from where you are buying that plant. Always try to wrap that their leaves, or wrap their flowers, particularly that part of that flowers, into the newspaper, so that it may also get the proper shape. It retains, maybe it retains into the proper shape. Okay, when we cut in from the garden, or when we purchase from the, you can say that, from the market. And also put it again, put it into the bucket for 3 to 4 hours, or for the overnight for the conditioning purpose. Okay, this called hardening. Like we the process we do, like taking the plants, wrapping into the, you can say that, into the newspaper, and then that particular bunch, that proper bunch, maybe we wrap that flowers, wrap the 10 to 20 leaves or 20 flowers into a one bunch. Okay, putting into one bunch and then wrapping that newspaper and putting into the into the bucket, water bucket. Okay, which is for 3 to 4 hours or for overnight for the conditioning, and also may called as a hardening process. Okay, in this case, foliage means like leaves or stems. Foliage means leaves and its stems of that particular flowers. Okay, submerge them into a water for about 2 hours only. Like if we are only putting foliage into that same bucket, we just put that foliage into that bucket for only 2 hours. But all that bunches which we wrapped into the newspaper, we have to put for 3 to 4 hours. Okay. In next point, use a good pruning knife or scissors to make clean slanting cut, causing minimal damage, or brushing to the little dutches in the stems, which carries water. Like whenever we are using, or whenever we are pruning means whenever we are cutting, like if there's that particular flower, if we buy roses from the market, white roses, red roses, or lilies, any kind of flower, that the actual stem, or when we purchase from the market, that the length of that particular stem is 2 feet. Okay, with the flower onto it, with leaves, and with the stem, that is of 2 feet. Okay, but when we use that particular flower into the flower arrangement where it is required, we need only 1 feet or half feet of that. So we just may need a only flower part of that. Okay, so we just prune that. Prune that means we just nip that, prune that, that particular branch or particular flower. Okay, from the stem or from the foliage or from the leaves. So whenever we are pruning that particular flower, we have to use good quality of knives and scissors, because it may affect the cleaning process of that. Okay, slanting cuts be needed, and it do the minimal damage to them. And we also use brushes, or we can do the brushing to them in the stems where it may carries the water. Okay, any doubt in this? Any doubt, guys? No doubt. Okay, now we just start with a polling. Okay, uh, time to poll. I'm just sharing poll with you. Okay, first poll I'm launching for you. You get 1 minute for polling. So try to poll, or try to give the answer in very quick way. But read the question very thoroughly, guys, whenever you are answering the question. Visible to all? 15 seconds, guys, more 15 seconds. Okay, time over, guys. Okay, what will be the right answer? Anyone from your side? Tell the process which helps retain their moisture of longer period time, like plants. Like what kind of things we can do with the plants? What will be the right answer? Yes, guys, no response from your side.
Hunter
Yes.
put the flowers into the water.
Okay, into water bucket. Okay.
Yes,
Uh,
over.
section A, option A, sorry, is the right answer. I'm just sharing the result with you. Check your result. Okay, stop sharing the result. Okay, next point, making slant cuts in stems rather than straight ones, preferably underwater, as this helps expose a larger surface area for water suction by the stems. Like whenever we are cutting, why we cut the slant to the stems? Okay, there is a very big reason. When we put into the water bucket, that stems, okay, they have to condition them through the water. uh, how they condition through water? By sucking that that particular water into the stems. So when we give slant cut to them, they get the larger surface to sucking the water into them. So that's why we give slant cuts rather than giving the straight cuts. Straight cuts may have little space, little surface to sucking the water. So it by giving the slant cuts, the surface may get the bigger one, and then the the surface area is getting the bigger one, and the water suction by the stems may get improved. Okay. And next, when stems are woody, they may be cut, crushed, or split at the end, like cherry, etc. Like whenever we are talking about the woody stems, mostly we getting the like green stems from the flowers or from the plants. Okay. Sometimes we get, you can say that, woody stems which are not having much moisture. Okay. Much moisture because they are woody and they are also having the hard surface. Okay. At that stage, what uh, we can do, like we can cut, crush, or split that. Split like kind of nipping. When we nip the flower bud, or when we nip the flower from the plant, that same we can split that. Okay. We can crush that with the hands, or we may use a sharp scissor or knife to crush that. Okay. For example, cherry leaves or cherry plant are having the same kind of stems which are having woody texture. Okay. They are not having much moisture in that. Okay. And next point, to revive withering flower, nip off half an inch of the stem underwater and plunge in a deep container of water. Dead flower should be cut off. Like whenever we are talking about the nipping of the plant, or if we talk about some plants may get dead. Whatever we can do with the plants, whatever we take precautions, whatever we take care of that, or giving conditioning, but some plants again get damaged or dead. Okay. So what we do in this case, we can just prune that, or we just, you can say that, nip off that particular plants from the fresh ones. Okay. And then just putting them into the deep container of the water. Okay. Where it again get, you can say that, their life over there. In next point, recut any stem that has been left out of water. Doing this underwater is possible, and removing about 2 inch of the stem. Like whenever we are recutting, like first time we cut the plant, okay, or cut the flower leaf, okay, or cut the stem. Again, we have to again cut that particular leaf or plant again. So what we have to do, we just put it into the being left of out of water, okay, and then we possibly and removing about 2 inches of the stem. Like we can again remove the 2 inches from first cut. We have to take the 2 inches gap, and then we have to cut. And this process is have to done in under the water, like into the bucket only, and not we have to go into the under the water, but we just do into the underwater into the bucket only, okay, in which we just put all that leaves, all that stems, and all that flowers, okay. And next, to reduce underwater decay, strip the stem of all foliage and thorns at fall below the water line. Like whatever we are doing with the plants, it sometimes we have to do like we just put so many plants or so many foliage into them. What we can do that split the stems of all foliage, like split the stems, like we can make cut the stems, or we just put stems out of that bucket, only the end part, or we from where we just cut all the where we just give a cut slant cut over there, we just put that part of that particular foliage or particular stem of that into the water. Otherwise all that you can say that leaves and plants are fallen outside the bucket, or you can say that maybe into the bucket maybe. And next, never place a fresh flower arrangement where it will be exposed to direct draught from a fan or window. Like whenever we are doing the flower arrangement, or you can say that purchasing flowers or cutting flowers from the garden itself, we never put fresh flower arrangement where it as a direct fan, air of fan or draughts of fan or window, okay, because it may get exposed, or it may you can say that leaves their freshness, okay, the color may be, okay, or the actual texture or shape of that particular plant may also lose, okay. To prevent the dehydration, keep cut flowers away from direct sunlight and large appliances as well. Like whenever we are cutting the plants, what we can do, we just put into the bucket, and we just take that plants into the place where it have get the actual remains in the actual shape, and into the freshness also, or retains their freshness also. So to prevent the dehydration, like maybe plants get you can say that leaves their color or their freshness, okay. So try to keep them away from the direct sunlight, and from the large appliances. Like large appliances, like we can say that units, like maybe your refrigerators, okay, from where we can get the hot here, your AC outlets, units, sorry, not outlets, your AC units, okay. From that on, so we get hot air, okay. Or there are so many equipments or appliances are in the hotel industry, or in the you can say that into the organizations in which where we don't have to keep our fresh flowers, okay. And next, do not put flowers near a bowl of citrus fruits, as they emit ethylene gas when ripening, which cause withering of flowers. Like whenever we are uh, putting the flower arrangement at any place, or at any surface, or where it is required, we try to avoid where it is a citrus fruit or citrus you can say that kind of material are over there, okay. We try to avoid putting that particular flower arrangement near to them, because it again gives their you can say that fragrance to the flowers, or may ripen that particular plant, because it creates a ethylene gas, okay. As like if we talk about citrus fruit, lemon, orange, okay, these are some of the citrus fruits, okay. So we have to avoid to putting the flower arrangement near to them. It's now time to poll. I just again start the polling with you. Uh, all students try to give the answer of this poll. Okay. Hurry up, guys. Hurry up. On screen, I'm showing 32 students. Only 9 students still giving the answer. Uh, 20 seconds more. Hurry up, guys. Hurry up. Hurry up. Okay. How to carry heavy-headed cut flowers? Like how we can carry them? Like what will be the ideal way to carry the cut heavy-headed cut plants? Anyone from your side, guys? Anyone from your side? There are 33 students, guys. So not even a single student want to answer me. Yes, Akash, Abhishek, Angad, Vijay, Harman, Gusahib, Himanshu. My voice is audible to all or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's why I just want कि आपकी तरफ से भी मेरे को कोई जवाब मिले, because it makes the online lecture more interesting. Okay, no issues. If you don't want to answer, I'm just sharing your result with you. Just check your result and then we will move forward to the slide. Okay. So in next point, prolong the freshness of the arrangement, means flower arrangement by sparkling or spraying with lukewarm water from a mystery morning at and night. Like whenever we are putting any kind of flower arrangement at any place, we can you can say that put for 2 days or for 3 days maybe, or one day before we have to do that flower arrangement, so that if the function is in the morning, will be in the morning, so we have to do into the flower arrangement maybe into evening, one day before in the evening or in the night. Okay, so for that period we have to spray the flower arrangement with the lukewarm water from the mystery morning or in the night, maybe that depends upon the situation and that depends upon the function when it will be going to. Okay, so it again prolong their life. Okay, like prolong their life means like increase their flower arrangements life or the particular flowers life by spraying the lukewarm water, or if you are don't spraying lukewarm water, you may only spray fresh water to them, so that it get prolonged life. And next, change the water every day if the arrangement is meant to last a while. Never used chilled water, as cut stems fare best in the warm water or about 45 degrees Celsius. Like whenever you are spraying the water, or whenever you are putting the water, or the arrangement requires the change of water, or that particular arrangement, flower arrangement requires the water over there. Okay, sometimes we put some kind of flower arrangement into the vase, or into the, you can say that, big vessel. Over there we can use water over there, so it needs to change every day. Okay, if you have to put that particular arrangement to for 2 or 3 or for 5 days or for 4 days. Okay, so next, never use chilled water. It's maybe a room temperature water, or it may be the best part, or you can say the best way to water the plants, or you can say water the stems, or cut stems, especially cut stems which we cut it from the garden. Okay, we can use lukewarm water and or warm water of about 45 degrees Celsius. Okay, it is best to for the cut stems. Okay, not for the your natural plants, where it is into the gardens. Okay, there is a reason again why. Because in garden, when we put normal water or any water or natural water into them, the particular surface or the area where it is grown, that earth or that sand having automatically the heat, so they just provide the heat to them. In next point, listerine, ammonia, charcoal, salt, lemonade, sugar, camphor, aspirin added in a small amount to water, or commercial cut flowers prevent slow down the bacterial growth, thus prolonging the life of the flowers. Like whenever you are using cut plants, or whenever you going to spray or watering the cut plants, which we are using for the flower arrangements, what we can do, we can just put listerine, charcoal, ammonia, salt, lemonade, sugar into them. Why we put these into them with very small amount into the water only. Okay, we not spray into them. Okay, if we are want to spray, we have to put very small amount of these items into the water. Okay, why we do it, slow down the bacterial growth of the flowers, and again giving the long life to the cut plants or to the cut flowers. Okay, or prolonging the life of the flowers. Okay, slow down the bacterial effect. Okay, because bacteria also affect or also attacks to the cut flowers when we cut from the, or whether it is into the garden also, bacteria, or you can say that insects always attack to the fresh flowers. So by doing this, we just avoid the bacterial growth, and also by avoiding the bacterial growth, we the life of that flower again get increase. Clear? Any doubt in this? Okay, use clean containers to prevent premature foiling and bacterial growth. Do not use aluminium containers for flowers. Like whenever you are using the premature, you can say that, flower arrangement, use clean containers, or always use clean containers. Every time we have to use clean containers, because maybe if we don't use clean containers, they may affect some kind of bacterial attack, or some kind of fungus to the flowers, or any kind of, you can say that, bacterial or fungal attack into them. And premature foiling and bacterial growth, it may happen. Okay, and do not use aluminium containers for the flowers. Like aluminium, we do not use aluminium containers. We can use copper containers, silver containers to with them, or natural natural containers, or containers which are prepared with the sand, or you can say that maybe with the wood also. So try to avoid aluminium containers. Okay, every 3 days, recut the stems, clean the vase completely, replace the water, and add more preservatives. Sorry. Uh, Whenever you are doing the flower arrangement, if the flower arrangement is having the life shell of 5, 6, or 7 days, or maybe for 10 days, okay, what you can do, you have to do the recut their stems which are ripen of, okay, which are not in use right now, or their freshness, or you can say fragrance may you can say that exhausted. And clean the vase. You have to again clean the vase if you are only using water. If you are using sand into them, so there is no way to clean the vase. If you are only using water and putting that fresh flowers into them, you can clean the vase after every 3 days. Completely replace the water. You have to replace the water. Do not use that same water, okay, and try to use lukewarm water into them, and add more preservatives, like whatever the preservatives you are using, like I already told you, salt, charcoal, to avoid the bacterial growth and fungal growth of the flowers. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now time to poll, for a poll. Just launching one poll for you. Try to answer, all of you guys. Hurry up, guys. Last 5 seconds. Hurry up, hurry up. Okay, what will be the right answer, guys? Tell me the right answer. Never place a fresh flower arrangement where it will be exposed to direct draughts from a dash. Like from where we have to take preventions, like by keeping fresh flower arrangements. Just sharing your result. Check your result. Option A and B both are correct. Window and fan, and also we can use direct sunlight. Direct sunlight and appliances also. If there will be those two options, you may also take that. But here only window and fan. So A and B are the correct answer. Sharing. Okay. Next, how to cut plants, or what type of cutting we can do. When cutting from a plant, cut the stems on a slant, as this expose a great surface for the inner tissue, which takes in water more easily than the protective outside tissue. Whenever we are giving, first of all, we have to keep in our mind, whenever we are cutting the plants from, you can say that, from the garden, or we can taking from the market, we just have to give the slant cut, okay, because it gives the more surface area to the tissues which are having their inner stem, okay. Tissues in human body we are also having the tissues, so plants are also having the tissues, so it helps to improve their shell life or prolonging their life, okay, and protective outside tissues by giving the slant cut over there, expose a great surface of inner tissue, like when we give the slant cut, get the give it makes a big surface area by which when we putting into the bucket or into the water, okay, the suction process of water for that plant, it's more easy, okay. So that's why we give the slant cut to the stems or to the plants. Next is the recutting. Stems which have not been placed in water immediately should be recut, removing about 2 inches from the ends. There are two reasons for this. Why there are two reasons which we will be discussed next. First, we discuss the recutting. How we recut that plant. Sometimes we just forgot, or maybe we don't have a water in our hands, or we don't have a water bucket. Okay, so we just put some plants or leaves or flowers which we purchase after 1 hour or after and a half hour into the bucket. So when you have to do that, whenever you are going to do this type of things, you have to give the recutting to the plants or to the flowers, okay, because the where it having already having the cut, they may get dry, or they may not suck the water when you are putting into the bucket. Not suck the bucket, sorry, not suck the water according uh, with whatever the amount of water it requires, okay. So what you can do, you can do the simple thing, you just give again recut that particular plant from the actual cut to the 2 inches, okay. And there are two reasons why we do this. When the stem is cut from the parent plant, air enters the cut end. Parent plant means whenever parent plant from where the actual plant is growing. Okay, wherever the actual plant, that particular plant is growing, that is the parent plant, okay. So whenever we are cutting from there, like maybe it is a garden, or maybe it's a nursery, or maybe it's you can say that terrace garden, or any place where we get that particular plant. So whenever we cut that plant from the parent plant, the air enters to the end cut end, from where we give the cut to that particular plant. Sometimes this forms an air bubble which can prevent water traveling up the stem and cause withering, even though the stem may be stand in water. Like whenever we are cutting the plant from the parent plant, it may affect, or it may enters the air, which creates a bubble kind of, okay, and which again prevent, like it make a prevention or prevent the water traveling into the stem. Like whenever we are putting the when we cutting the plant from the garden area and putting into the, you can say that, into the bucket which is already filled with the water, so they suck the water, but at this stage they may create a bubble, air bubble. Some of the plants may create the air bubble into them, from where it get cut, so they can't suck the water properly and cause withering, even though the stem may be standing in water. Like maybe the stem may be standing fully standing into the water, or maybe fully dipped into the water, but it may again cause due to the air bubbles, the water is not traveling proper traveling into the stem and cause the withering. Withering means like it maybe get dried or maybe ripen, or you can say that it lose their actual shape or color or fragrance and freshness of that particular plant. This bubble, air bubble, can normally be removed by cutting off 2 inches of stem. Like you can just give the cut from the actual cut of the 2 inches, and that again the traveling of water or suction of water, it again gets normal. If the second cut is made under water, then no further air can enter the end. Like whatever I told you, like what is the reason to cut the stems of the flowers or plants under the water, just putting the stem into the bucket and just give the cut, because it again they don't create the air bubble. Okay, if we cut into the open air or in the outside the bucket, it again may create a air bubble into them, but into the water, just we just give a cut and it is already into the water, and that they start sucking and they start traveling the water into the stems very easily. And in next, when a stem is cut, the end begins to seal over, as with a cut finger, and a hard curls can form with which does not allow water to enter the stem, and again withering will occur. Recutting removes the calvus. Okay, calvus. Okay, it may be same kind of air bubble. Okay, you just cut the stems again 2 inches from the actual cut or the plant when we get from the parental plant. Okay, it may create a kind of seal over onto that end of that plant. Okay, we just give a cut and it removes and it start sucking, you can say that that particular water, and the water again traveling into them very normally. Next is your grooming. It's kind of you can say that washing or giving the better treatment or conditioning to the plants. All plant material needs grooming before use. Like whenever we are using any kind of plant or any kind of, you can say that, material for the flower arrangement especially. Okay, or you are if we are talk about some kind of bouquet we are going to prepare. Okay, you are going to the market, example I'm just giving you. If you are going to the market, the particular person from where you are buying the bouquet of flowers, they just give you the particular flowers, just giving from the bucket to into your hands. That is not good for you. They just take that flowers from the bucket, make a bunch, putting foliage and some sparkles onto them, and preparing the cover with the, you can say that, with any kind of paper material or kind of any kind of decorative material or accessories. Okay, then putting the your ribbon onto them, and it look attractive. So that's the same process. Like plants give needs a grooming before it is used. Foliage often needs washing, switching in a sin of warm water. It is effective. Damaged leaves should be trimmed away. Bent stems and dead flowers should be cut off. Like whenever you are going to do the flower arrangement, you purchase all the flowers one day before, or you can say that 2 days before, or you can say on the same day if we talk about. So you start doing the flower arrangements according to the guest demand. What you see, there are some dead leaves, there are some, you can say that, stems which are already bent. Okay, which are not in use for that particular flower arrangement. So you just remove that, but all that leaves, and wash that leaves if they have some kind of sand onto them, or some kind of, you can say that, other kind of material onto them. Okay, so you just wash them with the lukewarm water, with the warm water, which is very much effective, which I already told you. And damaged leaf, we have to trimmed off, bent leaves, or you can say that, snap off, you can say that, flowers, we have to remove that, and then we start doing a flower arrangement. So now time to poll. We just start poll again. I'm just launching the poll for you guys. Read the question very thoroughly and then answer. Hurry up, guys. Okay, guys, end up with the poll. Okay. Uh, Name the chemicals which prevent, slow down the bacterial growth, and also increase the life of the flower. All of the above answers are right. A, B, and C options. Charcoal, salt, ammonia, lemonade, sugar, uh, champur. Okay, sulfur. Also, I don't I didn't put this option into it. So all of the above options are right. Sharing your result, just check your result, and we will move forward to the next slide. Okay, next, immediate emulsions. Most flower stems benefit from standing in deep water for a minimum of 2 hours after the stems has received any other special preparation and before begin arranged. This is because many plants may take a certain amount of water in though the whole length of the stem. Like whenever we are doing flower arrangement, we just put all the flowers into the bucket. You all know about, okay, or whatever the container we are using for that, okay. And for that same, flowers are standing in through that bucket or into that container for 2 or 3 hours, or for minimum for 2 hours, and maximum maybe 3, 4, or 5 hours. So it absorbs so many water, or you can say that, like before the preparation, maybe it happened for the next day, and started when we get the flowers from the market or from the garden. But that particular arrangement may take several hours. Okay, maybe 5 hours, maybe 6 hours, or maybe 10 hours. Okay, so it maybe creates the amount of water and increase the whole length of the stem. Okay, so it may be, okay, it not depend, it only depends, maybe the foliage, the leaves of that particular stem, okay, maybe get increased or get more leaves into them. Okay, it all depends upon the, you can say that, flower to flower or maybe on to the stem to stem. So that is the immediate immersion. Like immediate immersion means like it get immediate immersion, like immediate growth into them. That is called immediate immersion. Water absorption. Stems vary in their structure, which may be strong, weak, hard, soft, and so on. Like these are the stems, types of stems, maybe weak, hard, soft, and so on. So stems are according to the structure to structure and plant to plant. Some plants are having very greeny leaves, sorry, greeny stems, and some are having light green, okay, not having so much water absorption. Okay, some are of kind of woody texture or of very hard. Okay, or maybe they get not absorb so many water into them, so that's why they are having the woody texture. So it all depends upon that, and strong, weak, and soft, that are also again according to the water absorption. Now, if we talk about the woody ones stems are maybe a strong ones. Okay, but the stems which are having green color, darkish green color, or having so much water absorption are maybe weak or maybe soft. Okay, so it all depends upon the uh, texture, and you can say that the absorption of the water. So soft stems. First, we talk about the soft stems. These take in the water easily, and no further preparation other than recutting is necessary. Like whenever you are doing cutting the plants from the peritoneal plants or parental plant, okay, whatever you want to do with the plant you can do, but with the soft stem plants, it is very easy. Okay, water easily absorb water easily, and no further preparation other than rather than recutting. Like if you want to recut that, recut means like maybe the air bubble maybe happened, so you just give a 2-inch cut onto the soft stem and just put into the water. The stem of spiring bubble booze flower can become too soaked and floppy, and are better arranged in shallow water with only a short soaking period beforehand. Like these stems are sprinking bubble bones flowers are become too soaked and floppy. Floppy means like it may be easily twisted by the hands, or you can say that, and better arranged in the shallow water. Like shallow water means a deep water, you can betterly arranged into them. Okay, like if you take a 2 or 3 feet of bud vase and putting the water into them, and then you just put the soft stems into them, the flowers which are coming with the soft stems, you just putting into them, that are very much better arranged, and it easily soak that particular water, which with only a short soaking period beforehand. Like not so much, you can say that, period it may be happened before happened. Hard stems. These takes in water less easily, and it helps to expose more of the inner softer tissue by cutting the stems towards for 1 to 2 inch. A very thick stem can have more than one cut. Like rose is the example for this. Okay, this is soft stems easily take water, but it is not take easily water, and also it's a more softer more inner softer tissue. Like inner tissues are very much soft by cutting the stems towards 1 or 2 inches. Okay, and it may takes harder stems may takes one more than one cut. Like if you give one cut to them, okay, it may not absorb water, whatever the amount of whatever the amount of water he have to, that particular plant, sorry, have to absorb. Okay, so you just have to give 2 or 3 cuts to that particular hard stems. Okay, like if we take an example, that particular example for this is your rose. Okay, Next is your woody stems. These have a really thick outer covering, which is very protective and does not allow water to get in easily. Like woody stems are having outer covering layer, okay, by which it's protective. You can't uh, that particular woody stems not absorb water very easily. Okay, so what we can do with that, we can give cuts to them, 2 inches cuts or covering with the scrape of the stem. Okay, stem end with the knife, in addition to cut the stem towards, we just scrapped off, like we just scrapped off means like we just remove the outer shell, outer layer, the protective layer which is having with the woody stem. We just remove that, and then we just put into the water, and then we start taking the or start sucking or absorbing, or the water is easily traveling to them. For example, leke and Leleke and cherry. These are the 2 examples which are having the woody stems. Okay. So this is the end of your lecture. These are the basic informations which you have to know about how we care and condition, and how we take the precautions while we handling the plants, or while we handling the flower arrangements in any kind of your organization. Okay, and after that, what cuts we can do, and what type of cuts and what kind of stems we get into the market for the flowers. So any confusion, any doubts regarding this topic, you can discuss with me right now. I'm happy to solve your queries, guys. Any confusion, any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, no doubts. Okay, then if I ask some questions from you, yes, guys. So start. I start asking questions from you. There is no response from your side. Okay, guys. Then thank you so much. Your lecture is over now. You may leave the meeting. Thank you so much. See you on next week.